the projected impact of the Trump tariffs on the U.S. car market. Hey folks, welcome back to the Homework Guy channel. Have we got a great show for you today? I'm Kevin Hunter, and today we're talking about the Trump tariffs and the reaction by quite a few in the media and even a few content creators on this platform screaming, "The sky is falling," or "the great car crisis," full of doom and gloom. Is it justified? No, and we apologize for them because that kind of stuff needlessly worries many of you. If you believe any of it, you've likely forgotten that it was just a few short years ago that we got to witness firsthand a real-life example of what happens when Trump puts tariffs on cars and other goods in the U.S. automotive market. By the time we're done, you'll say, wow, these guys make more sense on this than anyone. Before I say anything else, you should already know that the past is often the best indicator of the future. The good news is that there is data available to tell us exactly how this scenario played out before. So instead of hypothesizing about anything, we're just going to roll back the calendar and take a good hard look at the data on new and used car prices during the period of 2015 to 2020. Those were the good old pre-pandemic years, back when Trump's tariffs started flying left and right. And just as they were now, the foolish media was warning that new car prices were going to skyrocket. Many said by $5,000 overnight. But did they? Nope. In fact, we would do anything right now to go back to the car prices of 2015 to 2019. Am I right? And because new cars didn't see any huge jumps, used cars didn't either. The amazing Elizabeth joins me now as we break down some real data to prove to you what I'm talking about.
Okay, let's see. It was 2017, and just as he is today, President Trump had placed tariffs on steel, aluminum, and imports from China, exactly as he is right now. The auto industry was hollering like a coyote caught in a bear trap, but guess what?
It didn't happen. Let's take a look at those numbers. As a person who has successfully predicted many things with the use of past data and statistical data analysis, I can tell you that the actual data doesn't lie. Check it out. In 2015, the average price of a new car was just $33,500.
Wow.
In 2016, under entirely normal inflationary and market conditions, that number edged up a bit to $34,500, a $1,000 jump in 1 year, all before the tariffs. I show you the 2015 to 2016 years because they set a precedent for the next couple of years. By the end of 2017, after a full year of the economy being normal, prices went up a little again to $35,500, another $1,000 perfectly normal inflationary increase. It was in 2017 that Trump brought in the tariffs. Steel tariffs, aluminum tariffs, trade tensions became intense with China. Oh no, many screamed. And then in 2018, the prices, what happened? They went up $1,000 to $36,500. Just like the year prior, a modest $1,000 as if nothing had changed.
That's right, friends. That was just a $1,000 increase like all those other years, not the predicted $5,000 that we're hearing now, and the sky didn't fall. Just $1,000 for each year, right in line with the previous pre-tariff years, a continuation of the same steady, slow inflationary price creep that we've seen for decades. Back in a moment, right after this message from our main man of our show, Mr. Kevin Hunter.
Hey folks, Kevin Hunter here from the Homework Guy Show, where we help car buyers like you stay informed and avoid getting ripped off. You asked for it, and we delivered. We created the most powerful tool in your car buying arsenal, our 100% free car buyer's checklist. This checklist walks you do-it-yourself car buyers through the entire car buying process. What to ask, what to say, what to avoid before you ever sign anything. So why did we make this free? Because we believe everyone deserves a fair deal, and dealers already have enough tricks up their sleeves. We all know they do. Too many people are going into dealerships unprepared, leaving with bad financing, overpriced add-ons, and contracts they never fully read. Not anymore. You can download this checklist right here at thehomeworkguy.com. It's right there on the homepage. No sign up, no catch. Just print it out or pull it up on your phone before you head to the dealer lot. Whatever you do, never go to a car dealership without this printout in your hand. If you do, you'll be sorry. Dealerships count on you not asking the right questions. But with this checklist in hand, you have the confidence to push back, slow down, and take control of your deal. So what are you waiting for? As soon as this show is done, head to thehomeworkguy.com right now and grab your free copy of the Car Buyer's Checklist. The bright red button for it is right there on the homepage because when you do your homework, you don't get screwed. Download now at thehomeworkguy.com. It's totally free.
By 2019, the average car price hit $37,500, another $1,000 creep upwards. And in 2020, just before the pandemic flipped the world upside down, the number was $38,500. It was still just the usual $1,000 increase, like no tariffs had ever been put into place. Let's take a look back at these sensationalized news headlines from automotive industry experts and the media, all of whom were screaming, "Tariffs will crush us," they said. "Expect $5,000 price hikes overnight," they warned.
Totally wrong. All fake news. Just more BS to scare people.
So over a 6-year stretch, including the entire period of the past Trump tariffs, new car prices rose $5,000 in 6 years, or about $833 on average per year. That is so normal. It's like the Trump tariffs never happened. That's precisely what we expect to see in the coming months, and we didn't have to guess to predict this. We simply had to go back and analyze the previous data, just like the irresponsible media could have done.
So what's the Homework Guy prediction? We might see dealers being somewhat less willing to negotiate on prices, but we'll navigate that problem if we get to it. But for very sound reasons and with data to back us up, we don't see much more than a $650 to $850 increase in actual car prices this year, due mostly to entirely normal inflationary creep that we've been seeing happening for years.
Right.
If any dealer starts adding a market adjustment, you should totally skip right past them. There will be no huge jump in prices due to tariffs this year. With domestic manufacturers staying fast at current prices, the imports will have to follow suit. A $650 to $850 price increase by year's end on any vehicle would follow a totally normal inflationary condition, not a huge tariff-motivated price jump.
So what really moves the needle? Now let's be clear, the automakers could have used tariffs as an excuse to raise prices faster back in 2015 to 2020, but they didn't, and I should say more accurately, it's more like they couldn't. So
Right.
Why is that? Because they had pressure from President Trump to deal with, and they were already maxed out on profit margins and couldn't risk driving buyers away. The economic situation is far worse today for car buyers than it was for the consumers back in 2017. And Trump is far more motivated to keep the ship level now than he ever was before. The auto industry can't make a big bump for the exact same reasons that they couldn't in 2017, with economic pressures and President Trump breathing down their necks, telling them on a phone call his administration would view it very unfavorably if the automakers raised prices. You see, there's a big difference between a cost increase and an actual price increase.
Big difference.
In 2017, tariffs may have raised costs for the manufacturers, but competition, financial pressure on the economy, and pressure from President Trump kept them from passing all that along to you, the buyers. You have to be thankful for Trump's influence here, and here's the kicker. Even with all the tariff talk, with his help, price increases from 2015 to 2020 still stayed the same smooth, predictable curve. Compare that to post-pandemic price jumps, where the average price spiked $5,000 in just 1 year. We don't have that kind of disruptive equation right now. The pandemic and car shortages is what a real market disruption looks like. Nothing like the slow drift of the Trump-era tariffs.
So what's the Homework Guy takeaway here? Don't buy into the hype, friends.
Yep.
In fact, you should just ignore it. Every time there's talk of new tariff, tax, or trade war, the car dealers and lobbyists scream that prices will skyrocket. Why? Because they want them to.
Yep.
Seems really stupid, right? But we also need to recognize that many of them suffer from TDS. And the media, also suffering from TDS, eats it all up. But history predicts a very different story. Tariffs from 2017 to 2020, bottom line, minimal impact. Prices went up like they always do, a few $100 at a time.
By the way, to support the point that we're making about this administration, in early March, President Trump met with automaker CEOs and gave them a personal warning. It's the same warning they got last time. He said they better not raise car prices because of tariffs. Trump told the executives that the White House would look very unfavorably on such a move, leaving them rattled and worried that they would face punishment if they increased prices. People with knowledge of this call reported.
Very unfavorably.
Very.
By the way, Trump had an additional carrot to use this time. He said the automakers ought to be grateful for his elimination of the Biden electric vehicle mandate, which was costing all of them a ton of money.
Yep.
He made a lengthy pitch for how tariffs would actually benefit them. Two people on the call said, adding that he was bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. and that he was better for their industry than previous presidents. The tariffs should be great, Trump said, according to one of the people on the call.
So the next time anyone tries to scare you by printing headlines like, prices are going up because of tariffs, just do your homework, like everything else we say, right? Look at the real data. The numbers don't lie. Anybody recall big price hikes prior to 2020?
Nope.
And there were the big bad tariffs back then. For those of you wanting more supportive data of our prediction, let's take a deeper dive into some more numbers. Let's see what the car market as a whole did during those years, because it tells us what we can expect right now. Check out this chart. These are annual U.S. car sales between 2015 and 2020. In 2015, there were approximately 17.4 million vehicles sold. 2016, 17.5 million vehicles sold. Then the tariffs came in, but what happened? In 2017, approximately 17.2 million vehicles were sold.
Stayed exactly the same.
That's right. 2018 had 17.3 million. 2019, 17 million vehicles were sold.
These figures indicate a robust and stable automotive market from 2015 through 2019, despite tariffs, with annual sales consistently exceeding 17 million units.
Yep.
All of that happened with Trump going full steam ahead with steel tariffs, aluminum tariffs, and stirring up trade tensions with China. The only thing that happened is the American economy just got hotter and hotter. And you know we are right about that.
Now, integrating sales data with Kevin's analysis, in 2015, average new car price was $33,500 and vehicles sold was 17.4. In 2016, the average new car price was $34,500, vehicles sold 17.5 million. In 2017, $35,500 and the vehicles sold 17.2. 2018, the average price $36,500 with 17.3 sold. In 2019, an average new car price $37,500, vehicles sold 17 million. Then the pandemic hits. In 2020, the average new car price was $38,500 and vehicles sold 14.7 million.
Drop because of shortages.
That's right.
We have a solid point here, friends, and our prediction will prove to be spot on, despite the implementation of tariffs. During the latter part of 2015 to 2020 period, the data reveals that the average price of new cars experienced a steady and predictably normal increase, approximately $1,000 per year.
This incremental rise aligns with typical inflationary trends and suggests that the tariffs had a negligible impact or no change on car prices. By the way, a ton of cars and car parts were shipped here ahead of the tariffs, and they should absolutely not experience any kind of price bump.
That was here this year.
That's right. By the way, the tariffs on parts are not set to go into effect until May. Any dealer telling you that they have to increase prices because of tariffs is a dealer that you should run away from immediately.
Get out of there quick.
Yep.
Our prediction is based on real data, real history that actually happened just a few short years ago. The automotive market from 2015 to 2020 demonstrates that, despite the media screaming otherwise, the introduction of tariffs had minimal impact on any new car prices. The steady price increases were in line with historical trends, and consumer demand remained robust until the disruption of the global pandemic came along. This analysis suggests that concerns regarding significant price hikes due to tariffs during this period were fake and largely unfounded.
That's all for today, folks. Be smart, stay sharp, and do your homework. Don't let fear or politics cloud your judgment, especially when you're about to drop 40 to 50 grand on a car. And remember, it's your money, your car, your choice, and we've got your back. We'll be happy to see you next time on the Homework Guy Show. Also, friends, you should know that we can save you the hassle of doing business with bad dealers. Read up on our website, thehomeworkguy.com, our hassle-free car buying service. March was a record month for our car buying service.
Boom!
Read up on what so many others are saying about their car deals with our help. Remember, you can also join us on Facebook, too. Kevin stops in there almost on a daily basis to interact with our viewers. The Homework Guy team is always here to represent you, the car buyer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
By the way, I've said a few times in recent shows that our car buying service isn't for everyone, so let me explain that. We need you to have your vehicle selection narrowed down enough. We need you to know you can actually pay for the car when we get it negotiated, and we need to know that you like your vehicle choice enough that you can pull the trigger when we find the right vehicle deal for you. We also need to know that you have some realistic expectations, because what we do with our car buying service is math, not magic. If you don't have a focused and realistic mindset, you're not a good fit for us. Finally, I want to say to all of our subscribers out there, you aren't just our fans, we consider you to be our friends. We appreciate all of you, and you guys rock. God bless you all. I'm Kevin Hunter, the Homework Guy, signing off on behalf of Alex Stevens, our auto expert, the amazing Elizabeth, our negotiation genius, and the entire hassle-free Homework Guy team of coaches. Stick with us a moment as we scroll through some of our recent reviews that we're very proud of. Thank you for listening.